All right, we're gonna start this one off a little different. I got a video. Was scrolling through the Twitters or the now X, and saw this video of Glorilla making a specific statement. Now, what she says is wild, in my opinion. But I want to see what you guys have to say, as well as the audience watching. So here we go.
Hey, ladies, how are you? I'm going to call my twin, and I just want to let y'all know, be toxic for the rest of your 20s. You only get one life. Live your toxic 20s. You never get to be 20 years old, 21, 22, 23, 24, none of that ever again in your life. Be toxic, because don't get in your 30s thinking you could just go slashing tires and doing all this crazy shit. You too old for that now. You too mature. Be toxic for the rest of your 20s. And if you delusional, turn that shit up a notch. Enjoy the rest of your 20s. You only get to do this shit one time.
So y'all heard what she said. First, she said be toxic. You're in your 20s, early 20s, 21s, 22s, 23s. Be toxic.
Why you even gotta be like that?
You tell me.
I don't even like why. Why? Just that's all I can say is why. Just why. Why you gotta be like that? Why you gotta mess somebody's peace of mind up just because you're in your 20s? So like, oh man.
Yeah, you ain't gotta be toxic, man. I do recommend it in your 20s, live your best life. Live your life. Because like she said, you don't get to be 21, 22, 23, 24, all the way to 30 ever again. So live it to the fullest. That's the only thing I agree with. But other than that, nah, don't be toxic.
My thing that got me is be delusional. She just told y'all to be.
She said, if you are delusional, turn it up a notch.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like she's saying, be delusional. That's okay to be. She's affirming.
She's saying if you are delusional, turn it up a notch.
What I'm saying is she's affirming delusion. You know what I'm saying? Like she's saying, like you said,
I get what
if you're delusion,
I get what you're saying.
If you are delusional, that's fine.
Like you're saying that's a good thing.
The whole preach is just toxic. Like,
and she's supposed to be one of the idols in this whole hip hop rap career.
City girl type.
Like, come on, man. And that's just only going to influence these girls that look up to her to even, accept what she says and then put it into their life, which you're not supposed to. That's not. You don't.
It's not supposed to work.
You're not supposed to put a woman, a female, a girl that's growing up to be a woman to live their 20s as toxic.
I pray for my younger brothers. Y'all about to catch hell.
Do you think she meant something by like toxic? Like, how do you think she's defining being toxic? How would you think, from her perspective, as like this city girl type idol?
You got a roster of dudes. If one ain't meeting your standards, you want to the next one, they're just toxic. Like she basically telling them females to be out there for them and themselves only in this relationship game, or messing with dude, however you want to call it. She want that's my interpretation of it. For you, yourself only, whatever you got to do to have a good time in your 20s. Fuck dudes, break their hearts. If your heart is good to go, hey, you straight. If it ain't, get more toxic. That's what she was basically saying. You delusional, turn it up. Somebody broke your heart, turn it up on his ass. Like, what? It's crazy.
Nah, that's crazy. How do you think she defined toxic?
I think she defined toxic as, like Nigel said, or as she said, live your life. But the way you live your life is how she's saying toxic. It's just like, I don't want to say negative, but like Nigel said, just focus on yourself. But who cares about other people's feelings? When you walk into this world or you gain relationships not caring the other person's feelings, that's not, we don't want that in this world. Nobody wants to be in this world to have friends or family or people that don't care about you, don't really care about your feelings. All they care about is yourself. So that's basically saying be selfish in your 20s. Nobody got time to be selfish in your 20s. Yes, you can be a little selfish, but when it comes to building relationships, you can't be selfish for the rest of your life in your 20s. That's the best part of living in your 20s, man. When you gain those relationships, you ain't going to be selfish. You're going to be spending time with your friend, making some sacrifices because you love your friends, and plus they reciprocating that energy. That's what you want. And then y'all all having fun at the same time. Having fun with your boys like we doing now on this podcast. Come on now, that's living in your 20s. Living in your 20s. That's how you do it.
10 years of being toxic. I don't see you dropping 10 years of being toxic, entering your 30s, and that just not having an impact on how you see relationships moving forward. Like, your view is just going to be messed up because you wanted to be toxic for 10 years straight.
You built habits at that point. You done built the toxic habits, toxic traits. How you gonna beat that out in what? What? Going from 20 to 30? That's imprinted in you at that point. Sure, it can come out at a certain point. It takes, self-control, discipline, all those things, perseverance to get that out of your system. But boy, that ain't no easy task. You know what I'm saying? That is not no easy task. So Glorilla, we don't agree. Respect.
At all.
We don't agree. Don't be toxic. Be mature. Be respectful. Carry yourself in the manner in which you would like for others to treat you. If I want somebody to treat me with respect, I need to show that respect towards them.
Amen.
If I want honesty, I need to show honesty.
Preach.
Simple. It's a very simple message that I think you should be passing along to your audience and your whole team. Everybody around you. That's the message you should be sharing.
Preach.
Right.
Preach.
All right, we're going with another video. I like these videos. I think the videos. Let's go. Another video. Here we go. This one's a little longer.
Let me ask you a question. Here's a question. This is a good, serious question. Okay, ladies, if you didn't have a vagina, like say it was a terrible train accident, right? And the doctor was like, we have to remove your pussy right away or you're gonna die. How would you keep your man past, you get a 2-month guilty, I can't leave the bitch right away because you just lost a pussy in a train accident. Can't just walk right out on her. How would you keep your man past that if you didn't have a vagina? Wow. Nothing? You can talk. Suck his dick. Okay. Mouth. Asshole. Okay, great. You see what I'm saying? Now, I've been getting pussy beamed the whole show, right? But I give women the opportunity to say, I'm going to make myself worth more. But you just classified yourself as a series of holes. But I'm supposed to treat you special, but you're just a bunch of holes to yourself. No one said learn how to play Xbox, learn how to play pool, tell better stories, get another bitch that got a pussy to come on in. Well, look, whatever. Plus, when you get a certain age, pussy is not what it was when you was young.
I wasn't expecting that.
He low-key preached, bro. He low-key preached. And you saw what the audience response was. You saw the audience response.
Why do you think he preached? Because I think there's downsides on a man's perspective. Like, if that's the end-all, be-all to your relationship, is her, like, all right, yeah, in the event, like he painted, she lost her vagina.
Them was females throwing them
I know what the females are saying, but I'm just saying from a man's perspective, like, think of that. Like, what would you do in that position?
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
So, if I'm in that position and we've been dating, it really depends if we've been dating. No, I really don't. It don't depend. But if we've been dating, and then all of a sudden she get in that terrible train accident and she loses her vagina. Yeah, I would, cause I guess it all depends on the person, bro. Cause knowing me, sexual intimacy is very important in a relationship for me. I don't care if it's kissing, physical touch is one of my favorite love language. So if I don't care what it is, you better figure it out something, or I help you figure out something, or you need to help me figure out why I should stay in this relationship, because you ain't satisfying me from that physical touch love language. If she ain't satisfying me from that, then I'm deuces, because I'm all about my morals aligning. If our morals don't align, since whatchamacallit been gone,
but all of that
what is going on? I say it's subjective.
I see it.
All of that is depicted.
I see it as a pitfall though, because it's like she lost a sex organ, so it's like you automatically gonna jump to thinking about, okay, how can she please me again? Like, you're not gonna automatically just jump to, oh, she can learn how to play Xbox, she can learn how to do this. You're not gonna think about it because she just lost something that pleases you. So you wanna you automatically like, damn, how she gonna please me? So it's like how you just said, like, I don't know.
I think it's about being creative. As long as she's creative.
It's multiple ways
after
she can
lose
keep
that,
pleasing me, but
as long as she creative.
like he said, like everybody threw out holes, ain't nobody throw out this and that. Like, I feel like it's a pitfall though. Like you automatically gonna jump to thinking about how.
And I ain't just talking about sexual. I'm talking about creative in all aspects of the relationship. Yeah.
I'm just saying there's a pitfall. Like you lose that. Oh shit. Like how we gonna keep this? Like how you said, sexual intimacy. I need that. Like you lost that. My first, like I need to know what we gonna do.
It's just funny how y'all went to the whole sexual thing. Like y'all realize she can't have a kid now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
so,
what about the?
adoption.
At least that's where my head went. Like bro, like that means if she wanted to have kids, we can't do that.
If
like,
the love is,
am I gonna be able to live with not having a kid?
But that's only if that's
if the love is real, adoption.
That's different though. If that's in that situation, then boom, I'm thinking way different. Me, I was automatically thinking that hey, they already got a kid and stuff like that. They got their life set up for the most part, and then something tragic just happened, and I'm like, oh snap! You better be creative. Both of us better be creative to do something. Come on now, cause I feel like whoever partner I pick, they gonna know. They gonna know. I'm gonna be heartbroken. I'm gonna probably cry more than her for losing. Knowing me, we never know.
She gonna cry more than her. I'll cry more than her.
Man, if love is real, adoption. As far as kids.
I wouldn't leave her either. If we got a kid, I wouldn't leave her for sure. I wouldn't leave her.
You wouldn't even explore or be more inquisitive about co-parenting? Do you think you would be or no?
No, I wouldn't. No, because I wouldn't want my kid. That's one thing. I don't want my kid to be in that position where the parents are separated, and especially something like that. Like, come on now, like something happened to her. Something that she couldn't control. I couldn't control. So it's like I'm not gonna leave because of that. I was by your side every step through the way. Why would I leave you because you can't satisfy me sexually? Or she really could. It's just gotta be creative. But that's another story. That's another story.
All right, we're going to hit the next video.
I would argue that most women don't know the male struggle whatsoever. They think that they know, but the reality is they really don't know the existence for most men.
Correct.
A lot of girls think that men have privilege, men have, this amazing advantage over them or whatever. Actually, a feminist went ahead and did an experiment where she was a man for, I think, 18 months to 2 years.
So cool.
She did a whole documentary on it. She thought men had it easy. And she was a man for 2 years. And she ended up committing suicide because the existence was just so terrible and much harder than she thought it would be. And, and I'm not saying this, oh my God, feel sorry for me. I'm just saying that women lack empathy for the male experience. And the reason why I say that, and actually it's a good thing, is because women overwhelmingly initiate divorce. They overwhelmingly initiate breakups. They leave guys and they are able to get over those breakups much faster than men are. A big part of male suicide a lot of the times is precipitated by divorce and breakups.
Mm-hmm.
So
or finances.
Yeah, but that comes from the breakup. So what I would say is that women have sympathy for sure, but I think that they lack empathy to the male experience.
I wouldn't agree. I'm different. I've put myself in men's shoes.
I'm speaking in general. So when I make an argument, it's not at you, it's in general. I would argue that women lack empathy for the male experience. And why should they know or understand? It doesn't matter, because women exist and men come and approach them. Mm-hmm. You guys don't know what it takes for a man to be attractive. You just respond to the attractive guy coming to you. Mm-hmm. But the reality is the man has to understand women to a deep degree to be able to get sex, relationships, etc. Right? The guy just gets it. That's what women look for. So I think women are sympathetic. However, I don't think that they're empathetic, and I think that's a part of a bigger biological thing. That's a speculation maybe, but in general, I've come to realize most women aren't empathetic to males.
That's sad.
That podcast, that dude, you know what I'm saying? I don't really agree with everything he says, but right there, I do agree. But at the same time, I disagree because I feel like it's not just one-sided when it comes to men. It's also men and women. We both genders need to be empathetic to each other because we all go through struggle.
I got a video that I want to ask if Sam could play. That I would like on top of that, because I was watching TikTok today, and I just sent it to you.
Hold the mic.
Oh shit! I just sent this video to you, and it goes off of this, but it throws it in a different perspective. And I was just gonna ask if you could play it, because like I want to hear your answer to what you just said, but after hearing the video that I just sent to Sam, because like the way it breaks down the situation is just like in this situation, like it makes sense. I don't know, like I would like to hear y'all's opinion on the video I sent y'all.
See the video.
So my sort of feedback.
You're not breaking these roles he about to give y'all. You're not
He
expecting
probably
your
gonna
wife
say
to do
something.
it.
I just want to respond to the video I showed before that. All right. So Myron hit a good point. My only pushback is when you're sympathetic, you can understand from an outside perspective. When you're empathetic, you're essentially saying, "Hey, look, I've been in those shoes." At no point in a male or female's life, at least from a male perspective, should a female say, "Hey, look, I'm empathetic. I've been in those shoes." In my opinion, because the way we see things from a male perspective is literally from a male perspective. That's the way we biologically see things based off of our genetic makeup, who we are as men. And I'd say the same for females. The way you see things, the way you process things is the way you do. Probably because you're a female and the way of your makeup. We're different. We're completely different. We relate in some ways, but we have our intricate details that make us different. So empathy between both genders, I don't think it's going to be there. Like personally, I'm definitely open to different perspectives to sway me from that. But sympathy can always be there, but empathy, I don't think.
I can kind of feel you on that one. I ain't gonna cap.
So sympathy is when you have an understanding of what the other person is going through, and you can kind of coexist or understand and basically understanding like dang, what's the word, bro? Like similar. What's the word? But regardless of what I'm trying to say, you understand what they're going through because you have a similar experience of what they're going through. Empathy, you don't really know what they're going through, but at the same time, because you're unknowing, you still have to have that openness to be like, hey, I don't know exactly what you're going through, but I understand that you're going through something. And you have to be open. You ain't got in that close mind.
That's sympathy. Because empathy is saying, hey, look, I've been in those shoes. I've walked that walk. Sympathy is saying, hey, look. Sympathy is saying, hey, look, I can understand it from an outside perspective. Empathy saying, I've literally worn that same pair of Jordans you wore, same size and everything, and walked the same amount of distance as you. That's not what it is for men and women. Like, there's no point I think you can be empathetic because it's different. Based off our makeup, maybe there's some sort of hole in the wall that I'm missing, but I just don't think like we can always be sympathetic to women, but empathy, nah, it's two different genders. It's two different ways we see things. Maybe based off.
I feel like that's the right definition for both words, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's just like for me, bro. Is because that's one thing I've been trying to get better at, is being empathetic. So yes, you are right. You're right. You have an understanding of what that person is. That's being empathetic or empathy. And sympathetic is when you really, I wouldn't say you don't have an understanding, but you're just feeling pity for the other person. So it's one thing I know for me, trying to gain that understanding of being empathetic, because at the same time for me, I understand we all go through similar things, but everybody goes through similar things and not everybody's feeling sorry for you. So that's the sad part about it. But I am trying to be empathetic. I am trying to be empathetic.
I mean, the attempt to be empathetic is great, but there's some shoes that I just won't fit. There's some things that I just never experienced that I'm sorry, dude. Like,
that's good that you're real with yourself.
I don't know how you feel from a personal perspective.
That's good.
Which is good. Like, that's not a bad thing, an inherently bad thing. But there's sympathy is always there, which is why I think people should strive for it. Before you strive for empathy, strive for sympathy. Point blank. Don't try to act like you walked in their shoes because you don't know how people feel. Mm-hmm. You can't speak on people's feelings after certain things happen. But what you can do is get to a point of understanding and be like, all right, I see why you feel that way. Mm-hmm. I can understand why you responded the way that you did given that situation. That's what sympathy is about. That's what people should be striving for. So, as me, my perspective, my take.
I feel what you're saying. You're saying empathy could be a reach when it comes to understanding each. It could be a reach. It could be a very reach. Yeah, listen.
It could be.
Listen, I think it's the reach we need to take. It's the reach we need to take.
Depending on the topic.
Yes, depending. It all depends. Yes.
I was about to say.
What I'm saying, it all depends. Yes, it all depends. But if we can accumulate the sympathy, like you said at first, and then the empathy after that, I'm telling you.
Some shoes, certain people in certain situations just can't walk in.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not knocking what y'all saying. I'm not knocking what you're saying. I'm just asking or just because this is something not just coming from me, but something I'm trying to work on. Is just not just to be sympathetic.
Oh, yeah.
Take it to that another level and be empathetic. I'm not Sam. I understand. It depends. It depends on who it is, what's going on, all that other stuff. But
I asked you the question at the ALS. You told me about. I know where you coming from, but like how he's saying, it's certain like I don't want to go here, but it's like it's not no white person gonna be empathetic to some black people who done grew up in a real racist city. It's not some Muslim woman who done came from over there where they getting all that, who come over here and the white girl gonna be empathetic to her. Not even just to be hating on the white race, but it's some empathetic shoes you're not gonna get from certain people.
It's either you there or you're not. Like, it's not I can grow into empathy. It's either, bro, I can be empathetic because I've literally been there, or I've never been there, so I can't be empathetic. And I can't grow.
Sympathetic is the best you can do. Like, that's the best you can do. Nothing wrong with that. Don't try to put on their shoes and look goofy.
Yeah, I understand. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that don't knock it of trying to be in their shoes or even trying to experience what they went through. Because some experience that you haven't experienced, what they went through, could help you at the end of the day. I understand if what they went through is something you might not consider, but if it's something that you might consider that might benefit you in a while or in the long run, why not do it so you can understand and see how your reaction might be? I'm just saying that's just how I view it. You know what I mean? It ain't all the way right to some eyes. You know what I mean? But shoot, I try to make that step because sometimes I don't know, and the majority of the time I don't know when you're empathetic. So I want to know. You know what I mean? From what you telling me, I'm trying to gain the understanding that you telling me. Because I don't understand what you went through, but I want to know because I want to be empathetic. It's simple.
That's fine. It's just speaking from us being in the military, different walks of life. Like, nothing wrong with trying to be empathetic to people.
Nothing wrong at all.
We all come from different places. Like, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, nothing wrong at all. So I think I'll leave with this. It's either you can be or you can't.
For sure.
With regards to empathy. If you've been there, you've been there. If you ain't been there, you ain't been there.
As long as you're trying to be...
You went and saw the Eiffel Tower or you didn't go and see the Eiffel Tower.
As long as you're trying to be empathetic with a good heart, there's no shame in that. As long as you ain't crossing no boundaries and you trying to be empathetic with a good heart. I don't even like the attempt at being empathetic because, like I said... crossing no boundaries and you're doing it with a good heart.
I don't even... But it sounds like sympathy at the end of the day. When they're trying to get an understanding of what they felt like, what it is to walk in those shoes, that's literally what sympathy is. That's all it sounds like. It doesn't... Empathy, that's what I'm trying to say. Empathy is saying, hey, look, I've been there. Sympathy is saying, oh, I can understand that perspective. I can understand that way of thinking. I can understand why you walk down that specific road. It's either one or the other. And it's like,
sometimes I want to know the road they've been through. That's just
which is fine, but
I want to know.
You can't relate.
I can't totally.
But that's sympathy.
Listen, I'm not knocking. But if I want to take those steps, or go and figure out what they were thinking, how they was moving when such and such happened,
go for it.
All right then.
But that's not empathy. Don't call that empathy because that's sympathy.
I get what he's saying. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
You don't have that. Like, he's saying empathy is like you actually been there. You didn't done that. You gotta.
So all right, let me ask you this. So if you never been there, right? You never been through what the person is telling you, and then like you just have that weird feeling, or you just have that feeling where it's just like I want to, go experience or understand. So all right, you're understanding sympathy. Boom, sympathy, right? All right. But I feel like sympathy is not the action. Empathy is the action of where you knew exactly what they're going through. You've been through what they did.
That's empathy.
All right. So that's action. Can I agree with me? Or
action? Because there's action on both parts. There's the action of sympathy. If look, I'm asking you questions. I'm being inquisitive. That's an action in and of itself.
All right.
You actually lived it. You just
ain't never been there.
Okay, let me ask. So the action of what they lived. Right.
The only way I can see you getting empathy in the way you put it is if you go live what they done live for so many years, and you actually living it.
All right.
And it's like boom.
So you really can't be empathetic. So I mean, you can be empathetic, but it can't be every time.
Depends on which walk of life you're talking to.
That's fair. I thought. I'm gonna be honest with y'all.
I mean, so I didn't get the difference.
I mean, because the type of person I am, bro. I'm very caring, and I'm very. I know I want to know exactly what's been going on with whoever person I'm talking to. You know what I mean? When it comes to friends, family, or relationship, it don't matter. I want to know exactly what you've been going through, because that's how I learned the best, bro. Is because if I live your experience or a little bit of what you experience, then boom, I figured out real quick. You know what I mean? It's easy for me to reciprocate exactly what you've been through in life if I lived it just a little bit.
If anything, somebody telling you this, now you ask all the questions, they say something. If anything, you can kind of be a little empathetic. If they give you a story or tell you this and that, you can relate it to something you done been through. But you telling them like your story, it might not hit for them like that. Like, dog, like your struggle or your story didn't, like, you think it would relates, but it don't really relate. Like,
that's where it gets scary. Because then at that point they can take it as, oh, you trying to top my story right now? Yeah. Like you trying to one up me, and I'm trying to open up you. That's where it gets scary. But I think that's the difference between empathy and sympathy. In my point, back to the video, I think he's trying to say that women can be empathetic. In my view, they can't. I mean, I don't think they can be empathetic, because that says you walked in my shoes, and as a woman, you ain't gonna walk in a man's shoes, and as a man, I'm not gonna walk in a woman's shoes.
If anything,
it's always gonna be a point of sympathy.
A single mother might be able to a little bit, just because I don't know. If anything, I would say a single mother.
It might be caveats.
That's what I was about to say. It's not. I feel like it's not rare or impossible, but it's rare, but it's not impossible. That's what I'm trying to say. It's rare, but it's not impossible.
Yeah, it's definitely probably a few caveats I'm missing behind that, but I think y'all get the gist of where we're coming from, empathy and sympathy.
And we learning.
We learning, boy. I'll tell you that. We learning. All right, Nigel said he wanted to watch this video or bring this video up to the pod, so we're going to watch it. Here we go.
Men are not allowed to have full access to their feelings. Can I give y'all a great example of that? We in the house, me and my wife, she's pregnant, and my, at the time, 4-year-old daughter sleep in her room. It's 3 a.m. And we hear, whoop, 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 whoop. The alarm goes off in my house. So I pop up. I got the blammy on me, you know. I got 30 in the mag. Boom. Hit that charger hand. Gang, I'm ready. I go downstairs, I'm checking all the rooms, my heart beating like crazy. I check the living room, we good. I check the kitchen, we good. I walk into the basement, man, my finger trembling a little bit, but I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I go to the basement, I peek around the last corner. The wind opened the door to the garage, messed up the sensor. Closed the joint, locked it. Whew. Sat down for a little bit, let my nerves chill. I said, wait a minute, I just realized something. Fear is a human emotion. Fear is a natural human emotion. If I put you in a hot room, you want to sweat. If I put you in a cold room, you want to shiver. If I put you in a room that's anxiety producing, you want to have anxiety. If I put you in some scary shit, don't be scared. 2 of us were scared that night. Only 1 of us had permission to feel that. Wow. My wife laid in bed. She was in bed. I couldn't be afraid to the point of inaction. Because if all of us were murdered in that house, and Fox 5 came in, first thing people would have said is why he didn't protect his family. Why he allowed those things to happen to him. What happens to a human being who's not allowed to feel the full scope of their emotions? How does that work? How do you function? How do you grow up from 1 to 5 being the joy and apple of your mama's eye, and as soon as you become a teenager, the issues that she may have with other men, you represent that now. And she could grow to resent you just a little bit. Or maybe your father wasn't there. Or maybe he wasn't hugged enough as a child and told that he was handsome, and told that he was smart, and told that he was capable. But the world around him told him he wasn't shit, so he absorbed that. And that became who he was and how he felt about himself. That pours into you too. Nobody in this room is who they are by chance.
I'm gonna start off with this, dude. I respect what you did. Dude, it takes a lot to feel the things that you felt and say, hey, look, I'm gonna grab my gun. I'm gonna protect this family. That being said, there's a point of your statement that I disagree with. Both of y'all felt a certain way. Both of y'all were scared, and both meaning him and his wife. both of y'all were trembling, I'd assume I would feel probably the same fear that you felt, the same sense of like, man, what's going on, as you felt. I think the difference is the fact that you responded different than she did. That's the only difference. No feelings were taken away. You felt how you felt. It's just one responded one way and the other responded to their same feelings, that same sense of fear, a whole nother way. Why is that? It's the roles of a traditional household. It's what we get into as manhood, as a man. If we're talking a very conservative family, which it seems like you are, based off the way you responded, like that's part of being a man of a family. If something pops off, my alarm goes off of my house, I'm not expecting for my wife to get up and go check it out. Me as a conservative mindset, I'm expecting for me to get up in spite of my fear, in spite of everything that I feel, and handle the business that I need to handle. Doesn't mean that all the things that I feel is not real. They're still there, but my actions, how I respond to my feelings is what's going to make the difference. So you felt everything you felt, and it sounds like you're neglecting that. Nah, I wouldn't do that. You felt how you felt. She felt how she felt, but y'all responded in respective manners based off the roles of y'all household, based on my assumptions. That's my only disagreement, bro. Men are allowed to feel how they want to feel. Feel all of that. Feel it. Feel the nerves. Feel the fear. Feel scared. All that stuff. But it's really how you respond. Think of it in football. I can go all the way back to football. Boy, I was nervous getting on the field. All them lights. The other team on the other side was definitely bigger than us. Mind you, I'm one of the smaller kids on the field. I'm nervous. I'm shook. My response, though, can be completely different than how I feel. It doesn't even have to reflect how I feel. So action is everything. How you respond and how you feel is everything. Great video, though. I thought that was good. I thought that video was pretty good.
I agree with everything you said, but at the end, it got me thinking. And so, like, I don't know. The only I agree with everything you said, but the only thing I would have to, like, in response is, I don't know. So, like, say dude didn't get up. Say he was scared. Like, not even looking at race or anything like that, but he was scared. They got a gun in the house, but he's scared. Wife is scared. It's down to who gonna get up and protect their family. They both scared. And for some reason, this wild ass clip popped into my mind. I thought back to a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air episode where Will Smith is with I want to say it was Nia Long at the time. I don't remember what her name on the show was, but they was somewhere either in a little cafe in the show or somewhere. But basically, somebody was about to rob the place, and I think they came at Will, and she put the dude down. And then the rest of the episode, Will was just in clown, like, your girl protected you, this and that. Like, I don't know. So, like, my one question would be, like, so what if the woman would have got up and protected him, like, and then the world, Fox 5 News coming there and they put him on the news, like, dang, your girl protected you, you grabbed to blame me, she handled her business. Like, you say we supposed to be able to feel how we feel, but at that point the world killing you for how you felt. Like, you was a little scared
so
punk and your wife.
So what? The world is killing me because they don't understand how my family.
Going to the other video, like, men aren't allowed to, like, feel how they want to feel.
Men are allowed to feel how they want to feel.
Until the world jump down their damn throat.
But here's the thing. What's your response to the world being on your head?
But why is the world? I get what you're saying.
No one's.
You gotta be able to block.
You're asking a question. I know what you're about to say. No one's gonna be able to comprehend why the world does what it does. I can tell you one. I give you one good reason. It makes money. Yeah, it gets views. Sure. It gets clicks. It gets reactions.
I just want to see what your answer would be.
Retweets. My response to this would be: if my girl got up instead of me in a situation like this, it would have to be because maybe I trust her with a handgun before me. Maybe I trust for me to be upstairs with the kids as a second layer of defense versus her.
Or you could be hurt. Shoulder dislocated in the sling.
Perfect. I could literally be hurt. I could be in a cast. You know what I'm saying? But the media won't see that. They won't publish that.
For sure.
And it's the same media that you're going to trip over? The same media you going to geek over?
How many?
No, I'm not doing that.
How many people who got money to change people's lives let the media kill their success?
That's them. That was their response
But
to
it's-
all the feelings. That was their response to the
Look,
emotions.
I don't get what you say. I'm just throwing out shit, rattle you up, get you.
How are you going to be the difference though? That's the question
LeBron
you
James is
should
the perfect example, and ain't
How
too
you
many
gonna
like
be the
LeBron.
difference? It ain't too many.
Ain't too many like LeBron.
But why not be part of the few?
You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm just
It ain't
throwing,
too
I'm
many.
just throwing stuff out there to rattle you up, man.
I'm just saying.
Get some
Like,
responses,
I'm
get some
not letting
opinions.
this media that all they trying to do is get clicks, likes, retweets,
sure.
comments, bro. I'm not letting them control my mind, my perspective, how I see life. I'm not letting it happen. I'm sorry. I've seen how it's ruined a ton of lives, literally by scrolling. Like I'm not letting that happen to me. If I could help it, I'm not letting it happen that to my family. Like that's not happening, bro. It's not happening.
Let me ask y'all this. So he said only one person in that family or in that response was able to be scared, right? Only one had the permission to be scared.
That's not true.
I get it.
That's not true.
I get what you're saying.
How do y'all feel about that?
That's not true. Both of y'all could
It's
have been scared.
society expects the man to pop up and do some shit.
Society or the relationship they're in?
We can't speak on their relationship. That's so
'Cause
behind
what it
closed
looks
doors.
like from the relationship they're in, he's expected to be the man of the house, which he is the man of the house,
True.
and protect his family at all costs. So, are we saying it depends on the family? You know what I mean? That where if a woman is protecting the family, or the man is protecting the family, or both is protecting the family because they both have either firearm training or any type of training when it comes to protection, or otherwise. Y'all let me know what y'all
family
think.
dynamic. I think that's what it is.
It depends. My favorite
sure.
word. It depends.
It does depend.
For sure.
But the media won't care about that. They'll see women.
And then who
defending
cares about
family.
the media? As long as your family is
Thank
alive,
you.
who cares
Like,
about the
I was
media?
about to say,
What
as long as
media
my
at that
family
point?
stayed alive,
Like,
I don't care who got up and grabbed that
I
damn
don't-
gun.
That's why, like, when people trip about the media so much, I'm like, bro, you don't even know who you tripping over. You tripping over some people that don't care about you. That literally is just using you as some source of income, some source of clout. Like, imagine a friend that only hits you up just because they can get a little bit of attention off you. Just to get that little feel of the big A, the big attention. Like, no, that's not a good friend you should have, nor that should that be a friend that you entertain and show attention to.
I feel like you throwing shots.
At the media? Yeah.
Oh, I thought you was throwing shots at somebody else.
Hey, you got a big forehead, but that's about it.
I'm gonna continue.
I got a big forehead myself. So we all got big foreheads. Hey, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check us out on the socials. We appreciate y'all watching. Y'all be easy, man.
Y'all get us to 100 subscribers. Let's go. Let's go.